Lionel Messi mourns his father Jorge Messi at 68. Lionel Messi is mourning the death of his father, Jorge Messi, in a deeply personal loss for one of football's greatest stars. Jorge Messi died on Friday, August 7, at the age of 68 at a medical clinic in Rosario, Argentina, after a prolonged illness, according to the Messi family and reports from Reuters. The news comes as Lionel Messi continues his career with Inter Miami, but for now, football has taken a back seat as he returns to his hometown to be with his family. Jorge Messi was much more than Lionel Messi's father. He was also a longtime representative and one of the closest figures in the footballer's career. For decades, he remained involved in some of the most important moments of Messi's professional journey. And now, the man who stood beside Messi from his childhood in Argentina to the biggest stages in world football is gone. From Rosario to Barcelona, Lionel Messi was born and raised in Rosario, where his passion for football developed at an early age. His father, Jorge, worked at a steel factory and played an important role in supporting his son's early football development. Messi's childhood, however, was not without challenges. He was diagnosed with a growth hormone deficiency, requiring expensive medical treatment. As his talent became increasingly obvious, the family faced difficult decisions about how to support his football ambitions and medical needs. Eventually, the opportunity came from Spain. Messi moved to Barcelona as a young teenager and joined the club's famous youth academy, La Masia. That move would eventually change football history. The small boy from Rosario would go on to become one of the most recognizable athletes on the planet. Jorge Messi's role in his son's career. As Lionel Messi's career developed, Jorge became closely involved in managing his son's professional affairs. He served as Messi's representative for significant parts of his career and remained one of his most trusted advisors. While Messi handled his responsibilities on the football pitch, Jorge worked behind the scenes on contracts, negotiations and other career matters. Their relationship was not always free from controversy. The pair faced legal problems in Spain during a tax case involving image rights and income. But despite the pressure and public scrutiny, Jorge remained an important presence in Messi's professional life. A career that changed football. Lionel Messi eventually became a global football superstar. At Barcelona, he broke records, won major trophies and established himself as one of the greatest players in the history of the sport. He later moved to Paris Saint-Germain before making the historic move to Inter Miami in Major League Soccer. And with Argentina, Messi finally achieved the international success that had eluded him for much of his career. In 2022, he led Argentina to the FIFA World Cup title in Qatar. That victory completed one of the most remarkable careers football has ever seen. But behind much of that journey was his father. Jorge had been there when Messi was still a child in Rosario. He was there during the difficult years. He was there when Messi moved to Spain. And he remained involved as his son became a world champion. Jorge Messi's final months. In recent months, Jorge Messi had been receiving treatment for an unspecified illness. According to Reuters, he spent his final months moving between a medical clinic in Rosario and his home, surrounded by his wife, Celia, and members of his family. His condition was kept largely private. Then, on August 7, the news broke that Jorge Messi had died. He was 68. The death was confirmed by the family, and tributes quickly began arriving from across the football world. Messi returns to Rosario following his father's death. Lionel Messi returned to Rosario to be with his family. Reports said he was given time away from his club as he dealt with the loss. Jorge Messi was later laid to rest in a private ceremony near Rosario. The Argentine Football Association also announced tributes for Jorge, while clubs including Barcelona, Newell's Old Boys and Inter Miami joined the football community in expressing condolences. For Argentina, Jorge Messi was not simply the father of a football superstar. He was part of the story behind one of the country's most successful athletes. A family lost behind the global spotlight for years, Lionel Messi's life has been followed by millions of people around the world. Fans have watched him score historic goals. They have watched him lift trophies. They have watched him celebrate victories with Argentina. But behind those public moments was a private family story. And Jorge Messi was a central part of it. From Rosario to Barcelona, from Barcelona to international football, and eventually to the World Cup stage, Jorge remained closely connected to his son's extraordinary journey. Now that journey continues without him. Lionel Messi has already achieved almost everything possible in football. But this is a moment that has nothing to do with trophies, records or football. It is a family tragedy. A son has lost his father, and one of football's biggest stars is now facing one of the most difficult moments of his personal life. Jorge Messi was 68 years old. He leaves behind his wife, Celia, his children and grandchildren, and a legacy forever connected to the story of Lionel Messi. From the streets of Rosario to the biggest stadiums in the world, Jorge Messi's name will remain part of that story. And for Lionel Messi, his father's influence will remain long after the final whistle. This has been the latest update on Lionel Messi and the death of his father, Jorge Messi. Thank you for watching.